All right, so we're gonna try to give it a go today. We'll see how long the voice holds up for or not. I try to go 24 hours with almost no talking, but obviously with little ones, that's kind of hard. So we will see. I think I'm on my like sixth cough drop this morning, and we'll see how it goes. I don't know. I don't know if I can talk for 30 minutes or 40 minutes, or we'll see. Um, fire bad. Yeah, it was fire, but it was also the tournament. 6 games is a lot to coach through. Like I was already hurting going into the weekend, so I probably didn't do myself any favor. Oh no, it's definitely much deeper. Yeah, the noise filtering or the sound filtering definitely helps. But, yeah, takes a lot more effort too. So, that's funny that it sounds that way because like I have through like the headphones, I can tell that I sound different through the headphones. But again, the microphone it picks things up and it makes the adjustments, so maybe it's trying to equalize it more to what it used to be. Anyway, let's dive right in. Um, Good data out of the UK today. You're seeing some adjustments there as far as claim accounts go. Um, Obviously, having less people make claims, obviously that's better than expected. There was the adjustment last time was a little bit high. It wasn't as bad. Earnings index, again, people making more money, great thing, right? 6.5 on a 3 month a year over the 6.1 before. So again, that's a nice little sign to see there because again, with inflation running away, people are not making as much. That hurts. China, obviously, new loans, not necessarily the biggest one, but the biggest thing for China is the bank of the central bank of China cutting by 10 basis points to 275 in the overnight. So there's some data with that. Economic sentiment again negative, but not nearly as bad as before. And then a CPI data. Now you would expect to see this CPI data and massive amounts of movements over here. Um, Again, taking this for face value on a monthly basis. Again, remember, you know, people were the way that people are looking at this on a yearly basis is what matters, right? On a monthly basis, again, helps kind of say where we're going. It was expected to be point 0.2, came in at point 0.1. That's fine. On a yearly basis, it was, the last reading on this one was a 4.9, and they expected it to be 4.1 because, again, the big drop offs of things. We said that this yearly one is a little bit skewed. So it came in slightly lower, right? But the core on a monthly basis is holding firm 0.4, 0.4, 0.4, 0.4. And this is not a negative number. So showing that there are still some inflationary concerns. And again, 2 is, 4 on a yearly basis is double, right? And again, this hasn't ever gone back down again. So we are seeing this entrenched inflation. Bailey's getting ready to speak, so we'll probably get some headlines from that as well. And I would expect the pound to move around a little bit more because of it. Um, but right now, um, you're not seeing massive, dollar weakness across the board. Are you seeing some? Yeah, a little bit, right? A little bit since the data came out. But 49, 48, that's not that bad. You can see over the last 60 minutes, it's kind of stabilizing a bit. Dollar yen, -7. Not really big. And what is it showing right now? It's showing more dollar strength than it is showing dollar weakness right now. And again, it's because the yen has more power right now. Euro pound 6, so not a lot in the European system right now. That's really kind of debunking it. And again, Aussie dollar. Funny enough, Aussie dollar. Looking at this, it's up 31, saying, "Oh, it's weakness." But in the last 60 minutes, what do we have? This is down, which shows us dollar strength, right? So dollar strength, a little bit of dollar strength, but it's barely. I don't want to really, it's barely any dollar strength. And then same thing, a little bit of strength, a little bit of weakness. So people aren't trying to take it, right? People aren't trying to take it. Um, you know, I think this is a decent. I was looking at this earlier. The inflation report Tuesday would be critical for the discretion of Fed policy, maybe or maybe not. I don't think is this the one that has it? No, there's one of these articles out here. There's one of these that basically still talks about them doing 3 cuts before the end of the year or 2 cuts before the end of the year. I'm still not exactly sure how they can make that call, right? But they keep talking about it. I mean, it keeps coming up. It hasn't disappeared yet. That everybody still thinks they're going to keep cutting, and the Fed's been very clear about it. That listen, they're going to take these rates to restrictive and they'll hold them there for quite some time. And even Bostic was like, "Yeah, there's nothing until 2024, probably late 2024 at the earliest that we could do any cuts." Um, I don't see them until it gets back down to 2, maybe 2.5. I just don't see how they could do a cut at all without it increasing back up again and starting to cause all kinds of problems. So I don't know, But that's the diagram that I saw is still showing that, that they assume that there's going to be cuts. You know, I don't know. I just I'm not exactly sure how they can keep mentioning that. Hey, listen, cuts, cuts. Yep, cuts. We're doing cuts by the end of the year. I'm like, what? I just don't know how that's you know not sure exactly where that's coming from, but it is. We're seeing it. A couple different things. So we'll see. Um, tomorrow's a big day, and again, Fed funds holding at 5.25. Maybe with the data today, this is what the Fed is looking for. Like, oh yeah, now we can cut it without it kind of raising too many problems. Um, I personally still think it is too premature to cut yet. I think we need to do one more in a cut, but maybe now that they're getting some traction, maybe the Fed could get away with doing a pause here and saying, "Hey, listen, we need more data. It's data driven, right? We're not stopping. We're just getting more data, right? Because they did some. I forget who it was. Kashkari mentioned that if we pause, that it's not that we're done, that it's we're getting more data, right? So you know, I feel like if they definitely did it too early, it would cause problems. But I feel like right now, I don't know. With today's data, maybe the Fed will say, "Oh, in light of that data, even though the core number is not really changing." Um, I feel like that maybe they could get away with it. I don't know. I feel like the market will go kind of crazy with it if they do. But right now, they're you know right now the forecast is 5.25. Um, GDP data in the morning, I think, is important for the pound as well. Seeing all their data shows that they are coming back, and that's a good thing. 8:30 tomorrow morning, PPI again. Eh, the core number again is holding firm. It's not changing. And then the PPI pricing. And remember, when we talk about something like CPI, right? When we talk about regular CPI versus core, core is excluding food and energy. Okay. Energy is basically oil. What was oil doing? Oil is continuing to drop. We're back down in the high 60s again. So, maybe gas prices are getting cheaper, but is everything else? All the stuff that you need minus food and energy is not. So, is it working? Is it not working? Which one do you look at? And again, if oil was increasing right now, what would the CPI number look like? Remember, originally that's what it was. It was energy prices going higher. Um, you know, that's what originally started all this. But now that it's embedded in core, it's kind of like, hmm. And again, the Fed is not lost on the core versus the overall CPI. So I think that's going to be a big thing. And again, PPI, you guys aren't familiar with it, right? It's the change in the price of finished goods and services sold by producers. When it's excluding energy, it still shows you that the prices are going up, which gets passed down to us. So just something to watch out for tomorrow morning. There could be a decent move with that one. I think the economic projections are good. The statement is good. The press conference is going to be the real kind of the money thing, right? The money event. Um, Kind of seeing what's next, right? What are they going to do next? Are they pausing? Is this done? Or are they expecting that? Are they setting up the language that, yes, this was a pause, but we're fully expecting to raise it? We're not done yet. We just felt like moderating our speed, right? Instead of dropping to point one, we're just going to stay with the 0.25s, but we're going to pause one and then bring it in next time if the data justifies it or when the data justifies it. I mean, the language will matter. So I think that's what we're going to get tomorrow. And I do think there will be some movement. Um, what the exact statement's going to be, I'm curious to see how they're going to lay it out. But I don't know if they do raise a 0.25. Again, I think that's the right call. We'll see if they're kind of giving into pressure or not. So we'll see. Um, Going across, let's look at the VIX first off. Okay, VIX creeped up a little bit. Is 14.65 high? No, not really. But you can see from where we were Friday, we jumped up yesterday just a little bit, but it didn't really go too far. Right, we closed higher, kind of came down a little bit. Um, Overall, the indices right now. Well, actually, we'll go dollar first. Dollar, is it down? Yeah, but it was already moving. Right here was your Monday, that kind of weak push, and then Tuesday morning happened, and again it drove right up before news and kind of shot us down, and all it's doing is retracing back up again. If the data was that monumental, I mean, here's where the price was when the news came out at that level, and you can see we're driving back to it very, very fast. Right, we're not too far off. So yeah, I mean it's right there, right? It's right there. Not much change because all eyes are now looking forward. And look, the dollar sinks. It sank already, right? In preparation for that one. So, and again, look, one, two, three, four. It actually did pull back to a level. So, it kind of pulled right back up into that. Again, more adjusting near term. You're putting it up in this level. That's where the drop came from. So, Um, yeah, all indices they're gaining. Russell up one, everything else up 0.6, pretty much all exactly the same. And I think overall, you know, I think the day to day is good. People like that CPI number, even though the CPI is probably the worst gauge of inflation. Again, the core is a much better reading. Um, the PCE also a better reading that the Fed likes, but the market itself, when I say the market, I mean like the stock market. The stock market itself loves CPI. It's the easiest one for people to understand, and it seems like that is the one that is most linked. Being negative today, that bodes well for, hey, listen, we're done. We're not raising interest rates anymore. We're good. And then obviously getting that movement, right? Oil. So oil technically right now is up 3.6%, right? Um, and it's coming back from where it was, but yesterday morning or yesterday at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, we were at 66.83. So yeah, yeah, it's starting to rally again, but we're much lower than where we were last week. Natural gas also up to 235, which is ridiculous. Gold and silver both down, but a smidge, like barely, right? Again, 1956, 24. We're kind of holding a little bit on the higher side, but they're both a little bit negative. If that data was so monumental today, typically gold and silver, you'd be seeing a lot more movement. We're seeing 0.05, 0.12, not a lot of movement in there. All right, so let's start off with the Aussie. So the Austin, we talked about a level here, and we mentioned that, hey, listen, we got sellers here and here, but there's not really enough until we get a little bit higher up. We are kind of in an area right now. If you look at an area here, you can say, hey, listen, there's a little bit of a test, a little kind of grab on that one. That's where we're kind of sitting right now. If I extend this all the way across, you guys can get an eye of it. We've kind of punched a little bit above it. We're not at the peak, and it's starting to roll back again. We can remove these two. You can see that they bounced off again, came back down and used it, based in it again, came back down, same base, and finally took off. So, a lot of kind of price selling in that area. Leave this one right there. Right now, again, the problem with this is, right? Where is it? Yeah. So we had the hit here, right? But again, that's just a quick little pullback. And then we got a top here that's not a zone. I mean, I guess there's your zone, right? But if you look back, there's in, right? We go back again, and it's kind of the same thing. So, not really great levels anywhere on here. We could take it up to 4 hour and see where a decent top will be. You can see this, look, right? Smash, 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 smash. And now we're coming up in that smash level again. But looking to the left, right, we're dealing with this, right? So, not a really clean. I mean, I guess you could kind of try to use that. It's okay. 15 tag it. Hello, Jinjin. Mommy's at work, and Kip isn't downstairs in the basement with brothers. Asher said to tell you when you woke up, or Reese told me to tell you when you woke up that they're playing Skylanders. They want you to come downstairs and play Skylanders with them. All right? Kipster's down there playing Skylanders too. I don't know if you guys can hear the little voice. She wakes up, she's like, "Where is everybody?" I'm like, well, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, kind of makes sense where we're at the 68 number. Is there anything great in this one right now? I'd like to see it moderate. You can see it's speckled down here with all the US based data. Right now, again, the pullback off this zone, I don't think holds. Um, a little tiny bit deep. It's not a bad run back down. Um, 28 being behind it is not horrible though. 'Cause I'm getting right before the 61.8. US data affirms the Fed pause view. Does it? Does it really? Maybe. Maybe. I love it. The dollar's weakening. It's affirming the view, but yet here's the 8:30 candle, and now it's lower than where that news came out from. Um, um, yeah, so I like this one coming back down. I don't know that we'll have many buyers here. I think there's probably a decent Harry Potter setup. Again, I'm okay with this reversing right now with that data because everybody sees that data and it's like, oh, that's it. The Fed's pausing, and that's why you're seeing dollar strength roll back in. Remember that core number is not different. It's still 2 times. We're not there yet with inflation, and even if we drop, say, zero point 0.1 or even 0.2, we still have another what 5 meetings to go, right? 5 meetings to go before we can get back to where we're supposed to be, right? So, yeah, I like the dollar strength of this one. So again, yeah, this is a small trade. It's like 9 for like 27. We're trying to coordinate something. I'm supposed to get the truck back today, and we've been trying to coordinate how to like. We don't know what time, so it's like we're trying to hit a moving target with time. She's like, "Well, I could come at this time, and if it's this time, I could do that." Like, yeah. So she's trying to plan her day and my day all at the same time, and we have no idea what time the truck will be done. Hopefully, it's done today because I need it tonight. So yeah. Anyway, decent little Harry Potter trade on this one. I like the dollar strength coming back in. I'm kind of good with that. Um, so yeah. Also yen, also high. Okay, also very very high. A lot of chop back and forth. We talked about this about again on Friday. We mentioned, hey, listen, we're in a zone. We have sellers here. We're gonna have to break through. And again, smash, 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 basing in there, smash, smash. And then again, what happened was we pulled back. We went out, we based, we pulled back. We went back again and then used it. So right now for us again, I think we're pretty high in the curve. I like where we are. I think over here makes sense. 4 hour wise, being this high, I you know you can see there's a zone here that we had marked off before, and it's a large zone, so it's kind of hard to trade off of it. But with the Aussie as high as it is right now, again, the Aussie did do the surprise raise. There was 2 surprise raises. You know, could a couple things here. One, dollar strength. If we have a surprise gold raise, I'm sorry, a surprise dollar raise, gold should get kind of hammered, which should also hurt the Aussie, right? The yen is still continuing to rise, right? Or, I'm sorry, it is weakening, particularly against the Aussie. Um, how far will this go before there is some type of intervention? I don't think we're that far away. I really don't. Um, But I will say this. Sorry, I totally forgot. Like I said, my brain is a little bit in a fog. This right here, right? Trying to cut in the overnight rate also will start affecting the yen. Okay. Obviously, 2.7 is different than 10, but the more that this goes, the more problems that they're having here, the more attractive China gets as far as manufacturing goes. Okay. Um, so yeah. Yeah. So Japan doesn't want to, Japan wants to kind of stay weak, but not too weak. But, you know, I don't know. I think we're due for something. We do have a line drawn up here at 95.45, and that's really kind of where we're expecting this to go eventually. I think we have a couple more bases in, but if we do see profit taking coming from this current level, Would not necessarily surprise me at all. But it is going to take some dollar strength and some yen weakening in there all at the same time. Again, we're on a four. Just so we know too, we're on a 4 hour chart right now. Just if you guys were looking for that zone, you're like, I can't find it. Why are we here? It's this. It's this kind of area before we've had a confirmation off of it, right there. Just so you guys can see it. It's this confirmation that we're looking at. All right. A lower time frame. All right, lower time frame. You can see this area has been tested. So we've hit it, we've based, and then kind of went down to grab more buyers. This surge that we're in right now is going to tell us a lot. If we have enough juice to go through, right? Maybe this is the start of the push. But if we start getting profit taking, and when I say profit taking, we had a European session start here, right? The initial push started late last night, but we pushed higher, higher, higher up, and we pulled back up because of the U.S. news. We're probably getting in profit taking area now. Yeah, it's about 50 pips. We got a little bit more to go. Probably maybe in here. So we should see like European, you know, we should see European stuff start moving, right? Yep, sorry. Um, sorry, I was listening to. I heard the girl talking. I was making sure she wasn't crying. Sometimes the boys don't purposely try to gang up on her, but she takes it like the boys are ganging up on her because the boys are doing something without her. So I was just making sure she's okay. But anyway, I'd be looking for a top. I don't have a top in there yet right now. Again, still confirmed uptrend on that one. You can see in the overall, this has been a pretty easy push to the top side. Not having many issues. And again, a lot of this has to do with that surprise raise. 23.6 level is the one, and it's way down here. It's 212, so it's 1.5 times right now, the daily ATR. So we got plenty of room for this one to continue to move. I'm sorry, it's got room to go up to 95 is the next big level. But again, plenty of room to go. Or I'm sorry, plenty of room to get all the way down here. There's a lot of small levels in there, so I don't think we're tapped out yet. But when this one turns, I think it turns fast. Euro dollar. Okay. Um, so euro dollar is a hard one. We had mentioned the news over here. We weren't up where we wanted to be, right? It came and turned, and it came back up, and then again pushed, and you could see at about 3 o'clock this morning we were sitting here high. Now, it did kind of give us a telltale kind of pull back before the news and spiked up again, but you can see it's starting to reverse back down again. So this one, unfortunately, if I push this all the way across, you can see it did not get stopped out until the news. Um, there's where you would have been before the news. Oops, not there. Hold on. I don't want that candle. I want that candle right there. So you were about here. If you're up 1 to 1 in a trade with something as big as news coming out, you're shutting the trade down. Okay, you are not keeping that one on. So yeah, if you did try to keep it on, you got stopped out, even though the price is exactly where it was now, or not exactly, but it's really close to where it was. Again, we were talking about reversals up in this area. I think it probably continues to deteriorate today. Is it going to be a huge mover to the downside? No, not so much, but I do think it probably tears down and comes back in probably down into here, right? A lot of basing in there. There's that one little peak above, but then you can see a base pull back. I think that's overall where the target would be. If I had to say where, again, short profit targets, probably one small one here, right? One small profit target there, and then another profit target down here would be the two levels that I'm looking for. Actually, we could probably take it a little bit lower, just because we have one in close proximity. I'd say for any shorts today, those are your two targets: 107.58, 107.45. Not surprised we had the turn. And again, if you were up 1 to 1, you're not holding it through the news. You can always close it down afterwards. It's just again not worth it. In news to have it tick back, and look what it did. Shot back up, and we're literally almost on. We are. Let's see, how far off are we right now? 1.2 pips from where the news came out. Right, 1.2 pips away, and we've actually already touched it. So, yeah. So that's news trading. Straight up, straight back down, and exactly where we were. But again, that's why I got to be very, very cautious when news trading, when big news events like something like CPI comes out. All right, so yeah, see this one coming down. Euro pound. So euro pound, this is the chart that we had drawn. I can bring this down, and you can see fibs didn't necessarily help us. We had two confirmations. It looks like we had a third one that just came off this level. Again, two what time 1:30. Yeah, 1:30. We tagged the level. What time is the news today? The Clement came out and read it too. So yeah, that makes sense. And it hit right before the news. Obviously, at this point, the trade is out. Got a nice push back down again. I would say that this one is probably on its way back down to this lower level basing right here. There's a couple buyers in, but again, pretty easy zone that we had talked about on Friday. Um, not too bad. Let's see. Is that what it used? Yeah, it did use that. Yeah. So again, that's a zone from Friday. 1:30 was came coming in right before news. Um, nice put. It's funny. What did it do right beforehand? It literally shot straight up within a half hour and then boom. So, yeah. Probably dealing with 50s right now. Yeah. So I'd say right now I'm not looking for anything until down here. Okay. All right. Yeah. Euro yen. All right. So looks like Euro yen had a second round, right? This would have been Monday, yesterday morning at 3:30, 3:30. So European Open trade. Here's the one from Friday. It was successful, and then looks like we got one more out of it. And then one, two, and let's see. There's three, and then there was your four break. So it ended up Harry Pottering at the top side. Hard entry though, because it went straight up and straight back down again. Um, sorry. Again, yen is really helping control this one because there's been no European data, so we're punching higher. We know that we have a level up top, and you can see actually it looks like the spike hit that zone and pulled all the way back down again. Um, yeah, it's kind of crazy. Look at that. Straight up, grabbed the 159. He pulled back down again for news. So it was boom, boom, and then now it's rising back up again. So, um, where does this guy stop? Let's see. We can pull. He's helping a little bit, but God forbid they ever come out and data shows that cough drops are actually hazardous to your health. I'm in trouble. Like this. Yeah, 2, 3. Good with that one. Make that break off. Again, we know that this is standing right here. It's not getting any better. Not. It's not the absolute worst for a pair like this. It does have a 103 ATR, but it's still 25% of the ATR, so it's kind of like, ooh. Yeah, nice little news spike out of there. I don't know if I would have taken that for maybe, maybe it got really close. I probably would have looked for like maybe a hit of here, and then when it pulled back. Uh, Part is it's like there's one here, but there's this one. That looks up. Yeah, nice reversal if you could have grabbed it. Where's it at? 158.91. The high of the day is 151.00. Yeah, I mean, my feeling this was the same. We're obviously extended because of the yen right now. Um, yeah, I don't have a reversal level yet. Like I said, we've already used this one. I wouldn't use it a second time. Obviously, there's another one probably sitting up in here. 150, 140. There's plenty of room to run for that one. Could we get a reversal today? Yeah. Do I think intervention's coming today? Probably not. So yeah, I think we're due for a reversal. I'm just unfortunately there's not necessarily a big level here. I know why it reversed. I like that it reversed. It should have reversed there. There's not enough room for Harry Potter here, as well as if you look back at this, there is a little bit of a basing in there. So again, we got to clear this first. That's where we're in right now. We could have a potential reversal here, potential reversal here, and a potential reversal up here. And I had to shrink this down to a 15 minute to find it. So we got a lot up here, very, very high in the curve. So I'm very hesitant to kind of keep looking for, excuse me, a continued push higher. Um, yeah, I'd like to find where the reverse is coming in right now. So that's all I got for that one. Pound yen. Yeah, look at this one. So 830. There's your candle. Right. There's your 830 move. Right. Super dollar weakness. Dollar strength rolled back in and came lower, came back up. And again, red, green, red. We're only 7 minutes in, so we got 23 more minutes to go. But if we close right now, that would be a trend confirmation of a turn. Take this one off, and you can see that one went all the way through. And then again, we based in it. Let's pull it though right now just to get a clear view on it. Let's see, where is some potential? We're already pushing through the 23. Nothing at the 50. 61.8. Look at this right here. I do actually like that zone at the 61. That's what I was wondering. Nice exit off of that one. So right now, looks like we are looking for short targets down to here. Oops, that's the wrong green. Short targets to there, right? Um, Fortunately, this is a bit choppy here, so I think we will have some problems in it. I actually am not opposed to taking a long there. This is what the scenario. It looks like a lot on this chart. It's only 45 pips, right? It's a 93 ATR. So in basically a day and a half from now, could we be over here? And what would this signify? If price runs down and we have dollar weakness rolling in, we should expect to see a nice little pop out of the pound, right? The pound dollar should pop for that dollar weakness. Um, I like to see what it does on the way down, but I like that zone. I think for any of these news, really any of these news trades over here, I think any of these news trades, that's a nice little potential setup. And it's only 45 pips, so it absolutely can move that. I know it's dollar, dollar strength that's going to take that, but again, if we're going to get dollar weakness tomorrow with a pause, typically you're going to see this setup first. So, and again, right now, red, green, red. Again, 20 minutes to go, but this is reversing back. It's got to clear this area. So again, that's going to take some time. But after that, should be an easy run. So again, more of a trade setup for tomorrow than it is today. Um, Again, if you're looking for two profit targets, I would say profit target one is there. Profit target two is here. For tomorrow, that becomes a takeoff point. Okay. Pound yen. All right, so pound yen straight up, straight back down, and then continuation. So it looks the same as all the other yen pairs. You're getting that burst through there. And again, you're seeing, yeah, the indices are actually leveling out a little bit. They're coming back down a little, but obviously the yen is going a little crazy. The yen's going nuts. So let's move. Let's see. Does this help us at all? A little bit. Look at the basing at the 50, which is not horrible. I still like this level here. Again, two touches off the top of it. Do we have anything? 176 is pretty high. Let's go daily for this one. Yeah, so we're in this now, and we marked off before the 178. Still 200 pips, right? Yeah, it's funny. This looks like a parabolic move, right? It's a kind of a clearing wick and then a parabolic move up. So it should tear back down again. Um, yeah, it should tear back down. I think for the news here, I think this is what we're looking for. Again, this is not the best one for any of the dollar-based news. The yen obviously will move, but you'd be playing a pure proxy on it. I think this would be better for kind of over here, the month-over-month GDP. I'm like, I don't know. She's like, well, what if it's done at this time? I'm like, Melissa, I don't know. Yeah, yeah, so funny. Like, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. All right. Yeah, I think look for the reversal. I think there's a long trade based right in here, and I think that's probably about it. Yeah, 175, 175.25. I like that one. Right, I like that. But besides that, again, look for a turn of reversal. If we can get a red, green, red on one of the smaller time frames, I would like to play this retracement. Yeah, it's not, as I said, it's not really a parabolic move, but based off of a news at 9:30, but it is. It's the market's reaction to it. So, and again, pure yen play. Um, we'll see. If we get some pound weakness in here, that could also help drive it back down again. So, you know, if we tear back down as we should on a technical basis, this could be a great little long. If not, if we're holding firm up high and it holds high, it also could be a nice little short. But I think the news on this one, I think, is going to be the next big play, minus a slow grind. Let's go down to dollar CAD. So dollar CAD, we did. We got the push all the way back up from that level, and then we got the push back down again. So we're still playing with that same group down there. Um, we just moved this over, but you can see it did go up from there. Right now, not much trajectory from yesterday morning, even though that news came out. You can see when the news came out, we had the initial drop down, and now we've just held. And there are buyers down here. We're still holding above that 133 level. Um, right now, again, with the pushes down here, this is not the time for me to go long. I'm not interested in going long from there. I do, again, the basing in here sideways. Um, eh, eh, I don't know. I like the 133. I don't have a base that I can get off of. I'm not interested in taking it here. You can see it's actually broken through a little bit lower. I think this one does come lower, but I think we base probably around the 133. It's going to be a big psychological level in there, and I wouldn't be surprised if we come down and we just kind of bounce, fluctuate back and forth. Um, if we do like kind of one of these, right, and then we'll determine whether it's a big down or a big up from one of those two, right? So would be surprised by that. It actually may go the other way. It actually may pop up from actually. It wouldn't be surprised if it's down up, something along those lines. So, right now, nothing tradable today. Yeah, so not enough movement in that one, and we're getting help. Yeah, we're getting help from oil too. 371. So yeah, kind of a hard one. Considering, considering that was weak dollar, oil's up 4%, right? Almost 4% right now. This is not necessarily bad. Not a bad movement in that one. So it's not the worst. Dollar Swiss. Okay. So yeah, so looks like 830 went down. Kind of grabbed the level. Not really the best. I'm still looking at this level right here. I still like that one. We're still kind of again inside from the last move. Came down, came up. It looks like it grabbed that one yesterday. Again, you're topping right there. That's all it grabbed. It's got backstop right here. Let's actually put the backstop here. It's a new button. I don't know what that button is. Like, why is it blue over here? Oh, I guess this is for the app. I think I want to do it this way, right? If I draw on it that way, like on my phone, it does the same thing. That would be a pain. Huh. Wonder why you wouldn't want to just automatically have it be global. Anyway, uh, and again, I know it's been three hits, but barely. Nice strong reaction. Nice strong reaction. And again, the chop's not there great, but the reactions have been good from it. It does put us up a little bit higher than where we are right now. Again, putting us up at this like 40 to 50 mark. Um, that would give us a range for the day of about 77. It is a daily ATR of 69, so I think it's a good turning point to the downside. So, yeah, I think that works. All right, dollar yen. All right. One, two, three, basing in four. Yeah. So chop, 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 chop. Those are all out. Again, the confirmation from here, one, two, three. So we go to the next one, which is there. That's what it used. So we're at two. We're at three already. Again, it's not very, very high. Again, we're at 139, lower than what we were talking about last week at the 140 mark. Um, Kind of same thinking. I think when the yen loses steam in here, I think this one probably turns and rolls. Is at a great level right now. Um, it's not bad. It's at a 10:30 time frame, so this is not the worst of places for it to turn in reverse. It is 17 pips, so is it the ideal play? Is it the ideal risk level for this pair? Not so much, although it has been moving pretty decently lately. It only requires a push back down to there. So not even that far back again. It's not even back to the origin of the move. Profit taking on this one would come in at approximately that level. So not a bad reversal. Again, it's already kind of done the trip once. It's doing it a second time. The only thing that kind of makes this any better is that it is 1020. So it does kind of give you a little bit more oomph to the downside, which is not the worst. Right, it gives you a little bit more oomph to the downside. So, yeah, take that one. So 1, 2, 3. So right now, kind of here's our top. Let's see how much trend. Two. Very hard to draw a top side on this one. Oops. Whoopsie. I think this 140.36, you could probably use this for any of the news here as well. I'd like to see where we are though tomorrow though. I feel that this is going to come back down again. Uh, Watching this level here is a potential area to be for news. Um, yeah, I think both those are decent. I don't know about here for news tomorrow though, but I think this one absolutely. But right now, obviously sideways, no trend. Again, we're going back to tested levels. And again, the old tested level got hit 3 times out, and then this was the next kind of confirmed level. So it's all right. TLT back at 101. Yeah, look at the spike in this one. Down, big down, big down. All right, let's check out this oil thing here. All right, so oil. Let's drag this down. Um, Potter down here. It did Harry Potter again. Right back down. All right, so let's remove this. We are past the 78, so I can take that one off. Uh, there's a base there. I don't really love the base though. It's Friday into Sunday, basically Friday and then Sunday, right? That's kind of where your gap is, and it is the 70 mark, so it does make sense why it started to pull back from here. But it ended up not hitting it. I guess it hit the very, very bottom of the green candles here. So, eh. At this point, I feel like we're a little bit overextended, right, with oil. I definitely can see the bearish play in this one. It's not really the level. It kind of got front run slash used this really little tiny level right here, the basing from Sunday night. Um, if you are short, I would say look for profit taking to come in right down here at 68.44. So just be cautious with it. It's an all right spot, right? It's an all right spot. Sorry. It's all right. Yeah, I like it for a short. Right now, though, I'd be cautious with down here. This red candle boxed off with some confirmation bouncing right now. This could almost be kind of like the new tops and bottoms for this one right now. 67, 17. Um, is this a hard fixed border? No, 70 is going to be like 2000, right, in gold, where it's like if it's above, it's like, yeah. If it's below, it's like, whoop, never mind. Um, could be an interesting spot for tomorrow, too, right? If the economic projections look pretty bad, this could be a big roller tomorrow too if it holds at the 70 mark, right? If they're like, yep, we're gonna probably go into recession, or this is what the recession looks like, or earnings are down, people are saving money, we're seeing it. If they start mentioning all the bad stuff that's happening, that could definitely put a drain on oil, push this to the downside. So it's all right. I like bearish today, but not really a great trade set up on it. Natural gas finally broke through, right? Boom, 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 gapped, smashed through again and came lower. Um, we're still holding down here. The 50 is still not touched, and we know we have people coming in. Whoops, right here, right? 2041. Or I'm sorry, 241. So we got some room to run. We should the next surge. I don't think we're stopping the next surge. There's really nothing. There's a little bit of selling. A little bit of selling right there at 20. What is it? 237 or 238. But if this surges again, I don't think we have even the possibility of reversal down here. So, yeah, I would say that these are the two setups for 246, 241. So, gold and silver. It's funny. Silver is doing exactly what it should have. It should be twice as much as gold. Gold is down 0.11. Silver's down 0.22. Right? It keeps fluctuating back and forth. So, kind of funny how that works. So we had a Harry Potter trade. We were talking about getting short on this one. Unfortunately, it kind of came down and it never gave us an entry. It just kept chopping through the bottom side and then built back up again. Its next time it drove all the way back down, but again, not really a Harry Potter trade, right? As well as this one went Friday to Monday. So again, kind of a weird place. It didn't quite get down to the 1945. Actually, it should have been there, 1946. Got the 1949, missed it by a little bit. So we were looking for where the basing was going to be. The basing didn't really come in at a great spot anywhere. So, yeah, right now I'd say more sideways. Again, we talked about having the tops and bottom be 1979, 1935. We're still floating right down the middle. You can see we do have a compressed channel right now. Whoops. We are sitting inside of a compressed channel right here in the middle, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is like a 50% retracement. Yeah, we're hovering. What I was doing with that one was kind of seeing if we're in the middle, basically between here and here, right? 66 is here, 33 is here. So we're kind of floating down the middle of the channel. Not really driving forth either way. You can say, hey, with all that bad data, why the heck is gold going down? Well, gold's going down because one, inflation is not as bad, but two, if it's putting pressure on it, if they believe that it's there, we'll see. Stocks are climbing. They said stocks are climbing, but when we first started the broadcast, they were up point 0.6, point 0.6, point 0.6. Now it's point 0.3, point 0.02 below 15,000 and point 0.3. So, not as good. So yeah, overall, it's showing more kind of dollar strength rolling back in. There are buyers here, but I don't think it'll have a hard time kind of clipping through the bottom. Silver, again, 24 is going to be a big deal. Talked about this again. No Harry Potter entry, just hit. It's like, where's the basing? There was basing here from this level. It was up here, but that's a little bit far. It's a little bit stretched, right? We just said somewhere in here, look for the base. There's the base, but that's coming off this level. Had you taken that one, I mean, you just move it here. We're looking for wherever the base came in. It came in here. There's the one. There's 3, right? Down to 24. So it used the base. This was pretty ugly. And again, Friday to Sunday. So yeah, we typically don't hold those over the weekend. I'll remove it. Right now you can see this one is a little bit more clear in where it's going. Again, it's continued to deteriorate down again. There are bars down here at 23.85. Wouldn't be surprised with this one. The next, it's already pushed down. It's almost the mirror bottom at this point. Again, it's 10:30, so I would expect some profit taking come down. 24.40 down to 24 is a big move. So, eh, eh. I don't know. Can we get buying down in this area? We potentially could, right? We know what's coming. Tuesday, Wednesday, right there. 23.72. So yeah, it could definitely be a level. Let's see. Let's see if that comes in as a fib level by chance. Not necessarily. It's close. It's close. I think the 61 has more going for it right now. Actually, the 78, but I don't use the 78, so Not the worst. I hate to say take longs though. I think it has no business being up this high, but again, it's a nice little area of basing. It's a target first. This should be your target. If you're short today, your target should come in right about there. Right, it should be on the top side of this. 23.75 should be your target. So, yeah, not bad. All right, let's see what do we got here. Apple looks like it's getting beat up pretty bad. Not really. I mean, yeah, Apple looks like it's down 0.5%, but it's only because we closed here. It dropped in the overnight, found buyers, came up, and then it's just chopped back and forth. Tesla, again, up, but has it really done much since the open? No, it's technically down since the open. So let's see, we got VIX wise. VIX, stabilizing a little bit, not bad. The dollar, look, it's retraced all the way back up again. It actually went higher at one point than where we opened, and now it's just holding. So it's all right. Yes, let's see what we got here. Let's drop these down to lower time frames. 8:30 drove it up as it should. Look at the chop back and forth. 9:15 was red, then green. Again, we're at a peak. No confirmed level, so no entry. Funny enough, look at that. They're holding, but now we are grinding lower. And we have a red, we have a green, and we have a red that's starting to breach lower to show a confirmation of trend change. It is 10:30 too. So, again, the initial response was up. Are we going to retrace all the way back down? We could. If we break this 43.89-ish level, this could definitely push down to 34.54. So, yeah, it could be there, right? It could continue to push lower. Yeah, look at the trend screen. But again, opening print, nothing, obviously. Parabolic move up, 9:15, and look, we just continue to push lower. Actually, the 9:30 candle did push back up again. Not an ideal entry, just FYI. It was opening here. Had you drawn this and said, hey, listen, there's a top right there. You'll be able to see it on the 5-minute. See how it pulled down? Started to pull back up again before they open for a trend continuation. Again, very aggressive, but we're much, much lower than where we are. Look, it's actually now the first one in the red. There is a little bit of a Harry Potter coming in here, but again, I'd be cautious with this one. But funny, weak dollar news, and all of a sudden it's like, whoop. So, what's our headline? Look, Wall Street eyes open. Higher open as inflation data boost rate pause hopes. And just right to the downside. So, it's pretty funny. It's our headline. Pre-market. Let's see what it. It's good news for hardworking families. No. At the same time, unemployment remains at historic lows. Annual inflation is now at its lowest since yes. Well, of course, right? But it's there. Yeah. After gas and grocery prices, right, increased rapidly last year due to the war in Ukraine, inflation has fallen for 11 months in a row. Right. Yes. The overall, not the core. While there's more work to do, the plan I laid out a year ago to bring down the cost. Yeah. Okay. It's all you. Yeah. All right. Sure. It's so funny. Annual inflation is now. Yeah. 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 Yep. It's lowering. Yep. It's lowering. Right. It's lowering. Right. It was 3, then it was 4, then it was 5, then it was 4, then it was 4, then it was 4. It's lowering. Right. No. No. Energy is yes. Okay. Energy is yes. But again, a lot of that, is it Biden or is it the fact that China is having issues recovering from the post COVID, right? Yeah, it's absolutely hysterical that that's where they think that it's driven from. That it's the things that we've done. Okay, no, it's the fact that China is having major problems right now. So NQ opening print, no, no, yeah, it's China is cutting not because China is doing great, guys. China is cutting because they're not recovering post COVID at the rate that they thought they should have or were able to. So China is behind economically where they are. The United States doesn't necessarily drive the price of oil anymore. What happens in China does. But it's nice that we think that that's what it's doing. So, yeah. Because remember, that's where the original first cuts came from, right? The last cuts that OPEC talked about was because Chinese demand was lower than expected. Or, they expected more demand out of it, and that's what started to send the price to the downside, right? Because remember, we're not releasing more strategic oil reserve right now. We're buying it back, so we're eating up more, right? So, yeah. All right, YM, let's see. 9:15 was down, 9:30 was up as you'd expect, but didn't really pull back to any tested levels. Again, the news was too strong today. still higher. We opened here, so we're still higher than what we opened, but it's struggling. It's struggling. Um, eh. Overall, it's not horrible. I think we're probably gonna, if we do push back up again, I think we probably top out at this 34,600. I don't think we're gonna get too many headlines. The Fed data that we have tomorrow is probably, I mean, again, there may be one of the lesser ones, that just puts there like, well, I'm gonna vote for this, right? But overall, I don't think it's gonna change the trajectory too much. If it goes up, I think it probably caps out. The big question is going to be, where do we kind of place ourselves from now till tomorrow? Um, I actually, I actually would be okay if today is a green day. Um, I'd actually be okay with that. I think the comments tomorrow, I think, are going to surprise people. I think that, again, the market has taken everything bearish for the dollar at heart, and then when they see something the other way, it's like, no, 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 no. So I'm okay. I like the green today. I think if we can peak up high today, that's pretty good for us for tomorrow. I don't know if we punched too much higher though. I just, but again, we kind of peaked right. 9:30 was our high candle for the day. I think we'll have a hard time getting through that level. So yeah, we'll see. And Russell wasn't fooled by much. 9:15 was the 9 and 9:15 were both red, loading this candle up. Unfortunately, the confirmed base was much lower. And again, Russell we knew was going to be most sensitive to anything that has to do with interest rates. If people see red, they're not raising interest rates. That's supposed to be great for the Russell. Um, so not surprised that this one is up. But I will say this: if again, my belief is that tomorrow will probably be red. Because remember, if they're not raising interest rates, what they have is working, and they don't want to hurt the economy too much, or they're not raising it because the economy is not strong enough to not go into a recession that could be bad. Um, I think the Russell's at the most risk tomorrow for having a red day. So I think we do close high today. Again, we are pretty high up here at 1905. If we find a top in here, I think there could be a decent short tomorrow in preparation for what the FOMC has to say, economic projection wise. Again, prices are still too high, but if they're not raising anymore, it's going to take a lot longer to go. And we've already seen some data out there with people doing layoffs, and you know again the core data is the concerning part, that it's not changing much. But yeah, hey, people aren't driving, you don't need that gas either, so the food energy is not going to help us too much. So yeah, I'd say look for a bearish opportunity in Russell, but right now it's not there. But again, makes sense. So we're good. All right, we went a little bit late. I'm actually surprised. My voice does hurt like anything right now, though. It does hurt. So hey, 6 cough drops in an hour. That's probably what it is. It's probably why I've made this far. Right? I'm sore. I'm sore, but again, 60 minutes of menthol, soothing cough drops. Right? I'm on the honey lemon kick today. God knows how much honey I've probably eaten in the last 24 hours. But we'll see. All right. I'm going to wait till this gets right to 3. We'll give it another 20 seconds and we will shut this bad boy down. It is a 50 pip chip giveaway today. Right? Because obviously I missed yesterday. So, yeah. All right. Let's close it down. All right. Winner of today's drawing. Oh, it does hurt when I do that, though. Let's see what we got here. Man, I missed it by 1. Winner of today's drawing is. Ooh, Mr. Ernest takes it. Mr. Ernest. He knew. Ernest, I saw, was in with 5 right off the bat. He came in big today, knowing that it was 50. So, and again, being a 50 pip chipper, right? He ended up coming out positive 10 pips today, but he's loaded up tomorrow for that 100-point win. So, again, playing the game. Playing the game. Let's go ahead and give Ernest his 50. Right? Playing the game. All right. So, I'm fully expecting to be back tomorrow. U.S. Summers boost chances of yeah. Hold on. Let me see. Do they give us a thing? No, it doesn't tell us the percentages. I was wondering if they're like, oh, it's a 60% chance. All right. So I fully expect to be here tomorrow. We'll play it by ear. Hopefully, doing this much talking today won't kill my voice completely for tomorrow again. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna go in tea, lots of cough drops before we start, and we'll see how it goes. So, with that, thank you for joining me today. I will catch you hopefully tomorrow. Fingers crossed. And have a good trading day. And again, a lot of overnight setups. Watch this stuff, and we'll play it from there. So, thank you again. I'll see you tomorrow.